I'm still here.
All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and begin. I will offer our invocation. Our county assessor, Rod Bennett, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll go from there. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful that we can be gathered here this day for this commission meeting. We're especially thankful for this wonderful area that we live in, for the moisture that we received last week. Please continue to bless us with what we'll need to take care of our needs, our crops, and to keep the fire danger low. We'd ask a special blessing to be upon those that are taking care of us, our fire, our EMS, and our law enforcement. Please protect them and take care of their families each evening. We'd ask a special blessing to be with the Summers family as they're going through trials and sickness, that they can be comforted and that can recover and be whole soon. Please bless us as we're in this meeting today, that we can make the best decisions for the residents of our county. And we ask these favors and blessings in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand and follow me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we appreciate Tammy being here today. For Marla had some family things to take care of, and Annie, thanks for being here to keep us in line today. We don't have any minutes from our prior meeting. We'll go ahead and take care of those at our next commission meeting. Did you have any items to report on?
Just our visit to DC. We had the opportunity to go back last week and visit with the groups at the folks at NACO, National Association of Counties. They lined up some appointments for us with, I believe it was Senator Cassidy's office, Hoffman from California. We met with our own delegation too, with the Senator Lee and Romney, and Representative Blake Moore. But we visited with a few people on PILT, the payment in lieu of taxes, trying to figure out what we can do as far as coming up with a better formula to help those that are maybe on the low end, that don't have the populations, to give them the numbers that they need. Right now, we're at the sweet spot where we have the right number of population and the right area to where we do get a good amount of PILT. But if you were to compare it to what Greenbelt taxes would be on it, why we're way below that. And so we're trying to petition them, and every year we have to, in essence, kind of ask them, hey, will you approve this? And so what we've proposed to them and talked with Senator Lee, and I believe he's going to try and head something up, is to get something at least approved for a 3 to 5 year term, so we don't have to keep asking every year, are you guys going to help us with this? So I think that was good. We made a little progress that way, and we also got a chance to visit about some water issues and water projects. Anything else you want to add to that?
It was really interesting because, as Commissioner Hadfield mentioned, we were mostly meeting with people on natural resources committees, energy committees that do have oversight over PILT. And it was interesting as we talked to them. We were with Commissioner Butts from Custer County in Idaho. And they've got 3.15 million acres in their county, and 3 million of it is federal. So they're just under 98% federally owned. And they only get about 25, 26 cents per acre. And yet they still have to provide all of the services on that land. And so it was pretty amazing as we talked with some of these other delegations, and they heard what it is that we face. I think one of the best meetings we had was with Representative Dingell's staff from
her office,
Michigan. But no, it was good, and then hopefully something will come out of it for water. We're kind of in desperate need of water. So anyway, good meetings.
Yep.
Okay. All right, any former agenda items? Anything else we need to take care of?
That I can think of.
Couple of fires, under control, out of control?
We're good.
Okay. Okay, it's Tiffany's job
Commissioner, you
to,
can bring up ARPA.
what's that?
That's next, yep. ARPA.
So we do have a couple of other applications that have come in. We need to review those and look at funding and see if it's something that we want to fund and get back on those. So maybe we'll have a formal review on those at our next meeting and see if we're going to fund anything else for this year. So,
Yeah.
Commissioner Scott,
yeah.
I guess that the stuff with the veterans coming from Brian, we've got a match and it's coming up pretty quick. So I don't know if you want to try to take care of that one that we thought was on the last tranche. It was a $300K for the veterans and he's got a match on that. He was supposed to have sent that all in. I haven't seen it, but it was in the one before. And he's got a match that would be able to service the veterans of this county. And I would, if he needs to get it done before the next meeting, I would like to see if we can't get that done with this second tranche.
Have you seen anything, Shirley?
Well, I forwarded the application to you guys that he submitted. I don't remember it saying that there's a match. There's always a concern using federal money to match other federal money, so I don't know what he means by the match.
Do you know where the match is coming from, Commissioner Summers?
I don't. Roger just texted me and wanted to know where it was at. I said, I didn't see, all I saw was ARPA on there today, so I thought he'd actually got on the agenda and was going to talk about it. So I'm not sure where his match is coming from, but I just know, I guess it was a timely thing. So maybe we ought to take a look at it now and see what we can approve pending his explanation of his match and how soon it needs to be done, if it has to be done before the next meeting.
So this is going through Bragg. Do you know if there's anything coming from Cash or Rich, or is it strictly from us?
I think it's specific. I think it's Fox Elder specific. I'm not sure. Like I said, I thought he was going to be on to talk about it today.
That would be the only hesitancy. Yeah, that would be the only hesitancy that I would have is if it's money that's coming from our county and it's going to be administered by Bragg, but there's nothing coming from the other two counties. I would really like to see it stay in the Brigham City office so that it takes care of Box Elder County if it's specific to us.
If you want to call Brian when we get done and just ask him the particulars, but that's what I thought it was just
All right.
for our county for that match.
Yeah, maybe we can call him on the way out and get the specifics, and then we
Get
can.
more details on it to get it
Yeah.
done.
All right. Then we can check with him on the match and see what's going on there. And then worst case, I mean, our next meeting is less than 2 weeks away, so.
I can resend you the
Well, we haven't
application
really
if you'd
approved him
like to
over the
look at
top, you know, so
Okay.
we've talked about him but we've really never had to worry about approving them there.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Let me know. We'll find out. I'll keep texting.
okay,
All right.
thanks.
Very good. All right. Emergency management, Mr. Millett.
Mark Miller, Box Elder County Emergency Manager. I think you may have this electronically, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this to you.
This is a succession authority document. There's a state statute that if the county does not submit a specific succession of authority, then
A state, kind of a standardized format kind of comes into place. And in talking with the commission earlier, Commissioner Summers and so forth, we come back to this format that's different than the state standardized deal. So the idea is if something bad was to happen to the first person, so the commission chair, then the next person, so forth. And for policy level, sort of stuff. And then we needed to define emergency management succession of authority. So you'll see there that the line that's, you know, been defined at as well. So we just need that signature on that document, and I can get that back to the State Division of Emergency Management and meet that requirement. Okay.
Very good.
The additional item we have here, and you should have this electronically as well, and we've got a copy here, but we finally got a new emergency operations plan. New emergency operations plan written up. We'd been kind of operating under what was probably the original 2003 plan, and it had been redone, you know, at intervals. It's the states would really like us to update that, so we've worked on it, and actually I've had a couple of plans that I've written based on other boilerplates that just didn't work like we needed to. So with this new emergency operations plan, it's very streamlined. We're down to 18 pages as a core part of the plan that will augment with annexes that'll be very specific to specific disasters or situations. Some of that is already done, you know, that will hang on this, kind of like a tool belt, and others are in the process. We're working with other communities trying to correlate those annexes so that we're kind of all working together and not going separate directions. So we're just asking that this core plan be promulgated, signed and approved, and then I can get that into the state as well.
Okay. All right. Well, let me back up here and go with the, I'll make a motion that we sign the emergency interim successor for the local officials or local officers.
I intervene really quick. On the county emergency manager portion, it lists county sheriff, then county commissioner and county commissioner. It doesn't identify which county commissioner on those two. Are you thinking county commissioner chair as the second in line to the county sheriff and then the senior as the third?
Yeah, we probably should put it that way.
I would suggest
I didn't delay it, yeah.
that change, and then I think you're good.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve this document pending the changes to the line of succession for the county emergency manager under sheriff as the most senior commissioner next.
So would that be chair and then most senior?
That's what I would suggest, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield, a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Annie, do you want us to go ahead and sign this, or with the change and then just?
You could write in the change and then just initial next to it. And then, yeah,
Okay.
you can sign one of the copies of it.
All right. Okay.
And on the, we haven't reviewed the new emergency plan. If you want a legal review, then I would just pass it pending.
I did receive an email back from you.
Oh, yeah, then you're fine. Okay, thanks.
Cool. Let's see, I think this is probably yours. On this one.
you can, if you want to hang on to that, I've got it on here.
Okay.
Yeah, I like digital,
This
because then I
second
know right where it's at.
Document from Mark.
Well,
You just need the chair's signature under there.
That's an older outdated report. That was
Don't worry about it? Okay. Just the top one?
provided this new.
when you do get a chance, if you can just, I've got it inside the agenda, but if you can email me just a copy over, I just keep it in file here, and then it's easy for me to
Email a
find.
copy of the plan?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
great.
Yeah, I can, yeah, because if we'll get the signed, what I'll do is I'll send back the signed document out to everybody, so once I
Okay,
get that.
and then I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the Box Elder County Emergency Operations Plan that has been presented.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield and a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Mark. It's a lot of
very
work.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate all your effort.
All right, donation to search and rescue. Is Riley not here? All right. Commissioner Summers, Commissioner Hadfield, you guys want to take this? You were both there. I wasn't able to make it that night.
Yeah, we went,
Thank you.
you want to talk about it, Stan?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
You can hear you better than me.
We went to the search and rescue. They were having a training and dinner steak fry for a lot of their members. And anyway, the Riley Yates came from oops, let me go
John
back.
Deere.
Yeah, from John Deere. And
Stotts, John Deere.
yeah, Stotts John Deere. And anyway, he had gotten a wish list from the search and rescue of what they felt that they needed. And typically in the past, they've gotten, they sent out wish lists to people, and they've picked a few items off of there and been able to donate. It's been great. These guys went through and they covered everything on their wish list up to the point of it was $15,000. And part of the reason why I guess it was so important to them that I'm trying to remember his name. Do you remember his name, Stan? The guy that lives up in Malad that's over the regional John Deere's?
Boy, I just remember the Yates kid that presented to
Yeah.
us.
Anyway, he said his boss had lost a son in the Snake River drowning a few years back. And as he watched the operations for the recovery with their search and rescue, he was amazed, and it hit very close to home for him, and so he felt very strongly it was important that these guys have the gear and the things that they need to be able to do what they need to do to help out the public. So it's the biggest donation that I think Search and Rescue's ever received. I think the next closest one was about $5,000 that they've got a few years back. So it was pretty amazing. It was really neat to see those guys step up and help the community like that. So.
Yeah, awesome. So, if Riley comes in, we'll thank him again, but that makes a big difference for all of us and anybody that visits the county, so. All right, let's see, we've got an MOU between Box Elder County and ICAC. You got that one, Ryan?
Sure.
All right. Uh-huh. This is something that we wish we didn't have, but we're glad that you're taking care of it, so. Yeah, go ahead, if you'll just state your name.
Ryan Stats, County Attorney's Office Investigator.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So this is just essentially renewing the memorandum of understanding that we signed last year where we weren't given any grant funding. This year, as you know, it shows $5,000, which is pretty standard for an agency our size. Brigham City got $4,000, so we actually end up with more than they did. And we have some plans for the money to get some digital forensic tools and things like that. And so it's been really good for us. We usually get about a case or two a month. So I have 4 cases as pending in my queue right now that we just got within the last 2 weeks.
Well, like I say, I wish that wasn't the case, but
Yeah.
I'm glad we've got people out there taking care of it, so.
Yeah, we appreciate
Okay.
all your work you're doing on it.
Thank you, guys.
You have any more on it?
No, yeah, just thanks again for all you guys do. This makes a big difference for the kids and the youth in our county.
Thanks,
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll make a motion, we approve the MOU 22-31 between ICAC and Box Elder County.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield and a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
All right, let's see, we've got Perry City. Is Robert here? Mayor, you pinch
Mayor,
hitting
yeah.
today? Glad to
Yes,
have
I
you.
am.
Filling in for him?
Yes,
Come on up.
I believe he's doing jury duty today.
Oh, doing his public duty, huh?
And he told me to come and get a check from the commissioner.
It's in the mail, right?
Sure it is.
Okay,
Yeah, if you'll just state your name for the record.
Mayor Jepson, Perry City.
Okay.
okay. And
And we've,
Where are we at on this?
That's what I'm here to find out.
So after you've passed the ordinance at the last commission meeting, that created an avenue for municipalities to request the use of the transit sales and tax funds collected in the second quarter. So this resolution encapsulates everything that Perry City's requesting, the funding for the Old Orchard
The
pathway.
hop, yep.
Yeah, and that should connect, it's related to projects that will connect that trail to a future UTA front runner station. And that, it's all identified in the resolution for you with the amount as required by that ordinance that we passed last meeting.
First and last mile. Okay,
all right.
all right, so,
You will want to include the amount in
Right.
the, when you make the
and you guys are
What's
ready
the-
to move
what
on
is the
this?
amount?
Yes.
Excellent.
250,000.
250, yep,
Okay, all right.
okay.
I'll make a motion we approve Resolution 22-09 with Perry City requesting the use of public transit tax of $250,000.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield, a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye. Okay, Mayor,
Thank you for your effort.
thanks
Tell
for being
Mr.
here.
Barnhill we're under control. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, Shirlene. Prior year cleanup.
This gentleman's application got lost in the mail, and then he was hospitalized at the end of last year. He just never got the abatement applied on his property, even though income-wise he would have been approved. Now, since it's past the deadline to get our state funding portion, we're just trying to approach it to allow him to have the 50% county abatement on that property.
Okay. And he does qualify. It was
Yes.
simply a matter
He has a
of,
very limited income and
Okay.
has some health issues, so
okay.
well below any income limits.
And then for 2022,
I believe he's applied it
Okay.
and met the deadlines, and it'll be on there for this year's.
All right.
We're just looking at last year.
Okay,
Okay, I'll make a motion then that we approve the allowance for the year 2021 for the county portion for Carl Burgess on the low-income abatement.
I'll second that.
have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield, a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Shirlene.
you.
And then I'll have, I believe Colton's joining me from Wiggins to present our audit report.
See Jody back there. too. You just supervising Jody?
I'm here for backup.
All right.
You must be a rough group. She's gotta be here for backup.
She's a moral support. Okay, so my name's Colton Bragger from Wiggins and Company, and we have finished our audit and are able to present it. What I'd like to do is I'll just go through our audit report. On page 1, this it's changed slightly. The formatting of our prior just because of standards, so our opinion comes first. But in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above for December 31st, 2021, in all material respects, are materially correct. So this is an unmodified audit report. So
Yeah, I was just looking to see if we had a copy.
I think Shirlene sent you.
I sent it to you yesterday.
Okay, so it's not on the
Have it in time.
agenda. Okay. Makes
Okay.
sense.
So, as far as the numbers, if you have questions, I can go over them, but I really want to hit some other themes, and then we can answer any of your questions that you have. I'll jump to, you had a single audit. Again, the county, in our opinion, is in compliance with those requirements for the single audit. So you've done well for that as of December 31st, 2021. Then I want to move to our management report. This audit, there were some significant issues in performing the audit that arose, but these findings and these recommendations that I'll present hopefully will hope things moving forward improve. On the management report, we have a bunch of reports that we do, but there's an independent auditor's report on internal control over financial reporting and compliance and other matters based on the audit of financial statements performed in accordance with government auditing standards. I'll read a couple paragraphs to put things into perspective, and then I'll move to the findings. But under the section that says internal control over financial reporting, it says, in planning and performing our audit of the financial statements, we considered Box Elder County's internal control over financial reporting, known as internal control, as a basis for designing audit procedures that are appropriate in circumstances for the purpose of expressing opinions on the financial statements, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of Box Elder County's internal control. Accordingly, we do not express an opinion on the effectiveness of Box Elder County's internal control. And then the second paragraph in that section, it says, our consideration of internal control was for the limited purpose described in the first paragraph of this section, and was not designed to identify all deficiencies in internal control that might be material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. And therefore, material weaknesses or significant deficiencies may exist that were not identified. But through our audit procedures, we have identified a few. There's another state report for the state legal compliance report, but I will skip on that. There were 5 findings that we had during this audit. The first one is a material weakness.
And what page are you on right now?
It's page 5. It's at the very end after you go through all the reports. In our management reports, page 5. It says the trial balance, and I'll just read this, and if you have questions, I can expound, but I feel like we've done a pretty good job of stating what the condition was. We noted many accounts for bank accounts, receivables, fixed assets. There's more, prepaids, the list could go on, had incorrect balances at the audit commencement. Some were materially misstated, and our audit was delayed until the auditor's audit staff, an outside consultant that they hired, could reconcile and make the necessary adjustments. Our criteria with this finding is county auditors maintain and examine county's financial records and accounts. They provide the commission and other departments of the county financial information on which operating and budget decisions are based. And the cause of this condition, the auditor's office does not have established policies and procedures detailing deadlines for when reconciliations must be completed. This resulted in a delay of the reconciliations. Complicating this matter, the county converted to a new accounting system near year end, and the staff were not familiar with the software. There is very little cross-training in the office, and the auditor's office had turnover during the year that led to significant miscommunication. The potential effect of this finding your condition is management would not have accurate financial information to base decisions on in a timely manner. Errors and fraud could occur and may not be detected in a timely manner. Our recommendation is we recommend the following. 1, the auditor's office be adequately staffed. 2, staff should be cross-trained on coworkers' responsibilities. And 3, the staff should have additional training opportunities on the new software and governmental accounting. And 4, specific deadlines and expectations should be established to include when reconciliations are to be completed. And 5, until the county acquires the necessary training, they should consider continuing using the outside consultant that was hired back in May of 2022 to help with reconciliations and consultation on accounting matters. The county management auditor's office has given responses, and after we go through this, if Charlene has anything to add, she can. But at the end of this packet is our responses to the letters. It's the last page of our packet. It says staff was not trained or cross-trained on necessary year-end duties before the external audit began. The new software conversion further aggravated the situation because normal occurring processes are recorded differently between the two software systems. These issues should have been discovered and resolved during the conversion. However, they were not discovered until the audit. A major undertaking was completed to reconcile the new software to the old software. The office procedures will set dates for the reconciliation deadlines. The external auditor's recommendations are noted and will be followed. If we jump back, there's a significant deficiency with a bank account. This condition, I'll summarize this, I guess, because our main focus was this number 1. This essentially summarized everything, that if this gets fixed, things will greatly improve. But the bank account, the sheriff's department had a bank account to receive warrant and bail money. But the auditor's office didn't know about it, and they subsequently found it when an employee came to ask if they could set up to receive credit card payments for this bail money. And then that brought that to their attention, that they didn't know about that. Effective internal control practices suggest that all bank accounts requested be open and should receive approval by the county treasurer. This bank account has been open for many years. It was just never discovered until now.
So how long has this account been in existence?
From what Charlene was saying, it was 1999.
So it's been there.
Wow,
So
20 years.
it's been there for 23 years, and our office didn't know about it, and it's never been caught in any other external audit that we've had done in the last 23 years.
That's correct. I'm the one that discovered it because I was working down at the jail at the time, and they
Okay.
approached me about taking credit card payments on a different account, and I said, what account? And please get me copies. So, yeah.
Okay.
So on this, we just recommend that, the county goes through, they have procedures where they look to make sure there's no accounts going forward that were open during the year, but where this one was before, it was missed. But we do recommend that all bank accounts, regardless of the amount or activity, are reconciled.
Okay.
Which we've now added this bank account and are working on catching up on the reconciliations. It has very low activity, but we still should reconcile it every month.
Yeah. Okay, well, good find.
Okay. Fixed assets. This is kind of a repeat finding, but it's related to our first finding. It's related to software conversion and just reconciling of fixed assets. So not everything was accounted for correctly. But things have improved from the prior year. There's a repeat finding, but they're working on improving that.
So what was the finding prior year on that?
They hadn't gone through the GL. In the back of this report, we have a list of our prior findings.
Okay.
And they would just miss some additions that were over $5,000 that should have been capitalized in the prior year, that didn't get caught until 2020. But they are catching those additions. This was more related to software conversion and timely reconciliation of those reports. Do you have any things you're looking at?
Yeah, I think we need better procedures in place to catch any of those items. I think having April in our office over like reviewing all of the checks that go out to companies and then also being over fixed assets, I think will help us catch anything that's over 5,000 going forward. But we caught a lot of things in the software conversion because assets didn't transfer over. So it made us do a complete review of all of our assets.
And then just some other matters that we found. The Form 750 report, that is a report that the county sends to the state. After a review of it, it was materially incorrect. This report shows the property taxes assessed and collected and distributed, and what is delinquent property taxes, and it was just materially inaccurate.
When you say material, I mean how far off?
$3 million.
$3 million.
There was a clerical error on it, but it was a material error.
I recommend to review any reports that come, like this report, having a second eye to make sure that things appear reasonable and can be caught.
When is that report typically filed? What's the deadline, or when is that filed each year?
That I'm not sure.
March.
Sean, do you know when's
March.
Okay. Okay.
And our last finding is just on the single audit, just having procedures for sub-recipients. So when you give money to, say, BRAG or another entity that helps administer the use of those funds, they need to be able to monitor those, making sure that those entities are using the funds appropriately when they receive them and they subsequently spend them. Nothing formal was written, and we just recommend that written procedures be developed for that. And it looks like the auditor's office has added procedures to require quarterly reporting and stuff like that back to the county.
So is this more along the lines of grants or one-time funding, or is this like our annual funding?
Correct. A lot of it is the ARPA funding. BRAG's considered a sub-recipient because they are administering the money for us. We need to have them report back status as to where they're at and how much they've spent. And we do have a quarterly reporting mechanism we've started this year.
Okay.
So.
So that really is
Can I
all
add one thing, Colton?
Yeah.
On our finding on the bank accounts, the reason that is a significant deficiency is because, not that it happened here in this county, but opening different bank accounts, employees of the county opening different bank accounts that don't go through the treasurer, that can easily lead to fraud. And so that is why that stepped up to that magnitude, is that we did not find fraud, but you should have control over that so that that doesn't happen.
Okay.
that is what I have. I want to give special thanks to the auditor's office with the employee turnover that they've had and the position that Charlene came in after the fact, and the stuff that she has had to work through and deal with during this audit. They had positive attitudes to want to fix things. Special thanks to Kate, the outside consultant, who helped the county to be able to get through this audit. Yeah, all things considered, the staff, they want to improve and they want to do things to the best of their ability, and that help and that determination helped the audit move along. So special thanks to all of the auditors, audit staff.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate the heads up, and Charlene's been busy, and I know that you know, as I talked to Charlene once she became our auditor, that was one of the very first things that she talked about was making sure that they knew the deadlines and that there was cross training, so that if somebody happened to be out of the office, somebody else could step in. It's tough to file a report by a deadline when you don't know that a report is even due. And so to have that information and to have it throughout the staff. And Nate and April, guys are awesome. Appreciate everybody stepping in. With the turnover and not having some of those things done prior, and then also the accounting software, it was kind of a perfect storm. So do you feel like you're in a better place now as far as knowing the deadlines, the reports, the timing, and with the policies and procedures that have been suggested, that you guys are good implementing those now?
Absolutely. I mean, I personally did not know that there were problems. From my perspective, I did a monthly reconciliation and it was done. And so just from not having the view of a leadership role, like I was not aware of quite how rough the situation was until I got a better perspective. And so we've definitely set deadlines to get stuff done. We are behind, and I'm pushing to be caught up by the end of 2022 so that we have a monthly deadline each month when stuff is done. And for sure, I really commend April and my staff that came in and did a lot of the year end along with Kate, reconciliations that Tom just did every year. And we're hoping to spread that throughout the staff so we have a better understanding of what needs to happen just
Right.
after year end every year. So,
Well, you got a good crew.
yeah,
We appreciate
really.
it.
And they've jumped in and worked lots of overtime, and it's been a very difficult few months. So I appreciate my staff a lot.
There's been several times where I've been down here for evening meetings, and I see these guys walking out at all
They're
sorts of
always
crazy
here.
hours.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we appreciate your work
All
on
right.
this.
Okay, well, we appreciate the info. This isn't one of our better audits, but we learn and
Yep.
move on. So it sounds like you're already there, so we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Do you have anything, Commish? Stan?
I appreciate the information that Colton's brought to us, and yeah, we can implement that stuff and go forward.
One more letter they presented to us yesterday, we need a signature on, so I don't know if you can sign that or if we need to put it in some other way or have it reviewed.
Yes, we'd
or-
have to, it would just depend on what the letter's regarding, so.
Do you guys want to review it and then I'll talk with you
Yeah,
after?
okay.
Okay.
Do you have anything, Commissioner Summers?
No, I'm just gonna reiterate what you guys have already said about being thrown from the there's some gasoline in the fire. Surely we appreciate everything going on. I'm very kind of disappointed in how things were left to you. I'm glad you stepped up to the plate and got everything you needed to do done, so let us know. The only other thing I was gonna ask, do you think we need to hire, a budget officer, to help you keep up with things, to be able to Or do you think now that we're caught up, we'll be okay?
I think there's just a huge learning curve for me right now, and so I'm trying to figure that out. If we have adequate staff to get everything done in a timely way or not. So I just feel like I need a little more time to get a better handle on that because we were so far behind as to whether we can keep up or if we need more help. But I appreciate you asking and keep you posted as we
Because I
go
honestly
along.
wouldn't have a heartache in, keeping Kate Becker on with the retainer. So if you think that's a good idea to be able to just have her to where you could call and throw things by her and things like that, I would not have a.
Yeah, she's planning to visit us again this month and help me with RDA specifically that I didn't have a background in, and she's been a great that way to help set the budgets and such for that. So,
Good resource.
Let us know.
so we're planning to continue to use her some, for sure.
Okay. Well, very good. Any other questions, gentlemen, or anything?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks you guys for all your
Thank
work.
you. So, let's see. Do we need to formally accept that? Annie?
You might want to vote that you all agreed to acknowledge,
To implement the,
the
Okay.
audit report and their
Okay.
findings.
I'll make a motion that we approve the audit report from Wiggins and Company.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield and a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Thanks again, Charlene. All right, at this time, we do have a public hearing that we would like to open for the Bingham Ag Protection Area. So, if there is anybody that would like to speak specifically to this Ag Protection Area, please come forward at this time.
Don't Scott preface it or anything? Okay.
Mr. Bingham.
Mayor, how are you?
Boyd Bingham,
Okay,
You pull that mic up to you close so they can read it recorded.
representing Earl Bingham Ranch LLC. This property has been owned and farmed by my uncle and aunt for, I don't know, 60 years, however long,
70.
70. And they passed away, and we purchased it from my cousin, and we're in the process of purchasing it from her. And so we felt like having protection by an ag protection zone would be helpful to us as we continue to farm it.
okay.
Do you have any questions for me about it? Or?
We love ag protection areas.
So
I
do
don't
I.
have any questions. Do you have
So-
any questions, Commissioner Summers?
No, I'm good. Sorry, I was on mute.
Okay.
I was just gonna let the applicant know that this is a good system for people that move in. It'll show up on, their plots and things like that that says you're next to an ag protection zone.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is that it's for 20 years, so you'll have to come reapply. And I would start working with some of our representatives to see if we can't put some teeth behind this for people who encroach and then want to start complaining about things that happen during ag. So but right now, there's not a whole lot that legally you can do besides just say, hey, you're in an ag protection. And they still yell and scream anyway when they have manure on the roads and flies and things like that. So somehow we've got to get some teeth behind it.
Do their due diligence.
Yeah, so we currently have an ag protection zone on our property in Huntsville. So this is a new property. We were just wanting that same kind of protection. So
Okay,
Okay.
works for me. Okay, very good. Thanks, sir.
thanks.
Thank you. I'll make a motion, we approve.
Well, we need to
Let's see. Oh,
close
no,
the
no. I guess you
public
gotta
hearing.
close that, yeah. I'll make a motion.
Anybody else who would like to speak? Okay.
Okay, I make a motion, we close the public hearing.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield, a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 22-10 for the Ag Protection Area.
I have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield, a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Bingham family, very good. You're good to go. The next item on here is a letter of support for the sale of the Washiki property. I did have a chance to review that. Have you seen that, Annie?
We haven't seen
Okay.
it yet.
If we can get a copy over to you, just to make sure that we're okay. It definitely conveys the message well, but it looked like there was 2 or 3 maybe typos or sentences in there that need to be tweaked just a little bit. Oh, is it? Okay. So is this the corrected copy? Okay. All right, yeah, there was Washiki was spelled with an I and without an I a couple of times.
Nothing that we need to have these guys go over though, is it? Nothing significant that way, just spelling.
You want me to go over it all, Commissioner Scott?
Oh, no, this is perfect. Yeah. So what it was is there was just a couple of sentences in there that just as you read through it, it didn't kind of come together. But they've made a couple of adjustments in here, and yeah, this is perfect. So, no, this is awesome. Okay.
Okay.
I guess yeah, we just need a motion to
Okay. Are we signing anything or just
just
to approve the letter of support?
yep.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the letter of support for the sale of Washiki property.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield, a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, they've used digital signatures on there, so we're good to go. All this is a letter of support. There's a group that's interested in buying the Washiki property. It's been held up because of some federal
Liens. and stuff.
liens,
Yeah.
and we're hoping that this will push it through so that it can be sold, be back in private hands, be operating, and then they can pay the back taxes that are owed. So that would make a big difference for all the other tax entities. So, all right, let's see, Mr. Lyons. Looks like we've got one rezone.
All right, so this rezone came before you, I think, 2 meetings ago. And basically we were directed to prepare the ordinance, and this is the ordinance, 569. It's a rezone from RR20, rural residential, 20,000 square feet, to the CG zone, which is general commercial. It's located at 1650 North, 2400 West, so just out by the interchange on the way to Corinne. And it's we now have that legal description narrowed down. It was originally
Almost 100 acres.
yeah, so I think now it shows here 55 acres,
Yeah.
which is the acreage only on the east side of 2400 West. So,
Okay.
and it's been reviewed by staff, it's been reviewed by the attorney's office, and should be good to go.
Okay, you gentlemen have any questions? We've been over this one 3 or 4 times.
I don't. Do you have any, Commissioner Summers?
I don't.
Okay. I'll go ahead and make a motion. We approve ordinance 569, the rezone from, located at 1650 North, 2400 West, from RR20 to CG.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield and a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And we'll wait for Mr. Wheelwright until next meeting?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Hey, thanks for your help last night, too, by the way. You're an excellent moderator. Cody,
Yes, sir.
welcome.
So we went out to bid this week. We closed the bid last Wednesday, for the Box Elder County Justice Center remodel. We had 7 total bidders. And the low bid was E.K. Bailey at $446,342. The high bid was $697. Yes, we did do an engineer estimate of 1.1. But on the coffers of last year, we had this on the budget for seven. Oh, surely remember, it's like 740. That's what we asked for last year to plan for this project.
And I just think that it's amazing that it's coming in 25% less than the carpentry line item alone.
Yes.
I mean, it's well under half.
And
so
also, this includes, we're going to be recarpeting the justice, the clerk's office over there. We're going to be recarpeting that whole area too. So it's not just encompassing the attorney's area. We're actually doing some work on some other areas.
And you feel comfortable with Bailey? I mean, all 3 of those first ones are within a few percentage points.
Well, yeah, it's just over
Those are
$1,000 from Patriot, and Patriot is the one that remodeled the DMV, and they did a great job.
Yeah.
They were really close. So,
Okay.
my architect, the engineering firm, has been negotiating back and forth with E.K. Bailey on some. That's why we don't have the document here for you to sign today. This number actually is going to be less. We're going to remove some electrical components that the architect was over. I feel was a little too much. He asked for a whole new service, but we don't need a new service. We have more than enough power because it's existing. We're not adding.
Expanding the footprint.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So as soon as we get that number to exactly where the contract is, I'll get that to you. But this is the number we feel comfortable in. The architect has worked with EK in the past, so have I. And we feel comfortable with them moving forward and getting a timeline to the attorney's office.
So if we just approve awarding the bid to E.K. Bailey pending the revised amount for the electrical, we should be okay to get started?
The contract will get added as an item for your approval on a future meeting once we get it.
Yeah, and we'll have to have that reviewed too. I thought I'd have it here, but I just didn't have enough time, but.
So we don't need to take any action today then?
You can approve to award the bid if you want
Okay.
to, or you can just wait until you get the contract either way.
If we're going to award it to them, we might as well, and then you can let them know for sure and
And
put
that's
some
why,
pressure on them to get.
that's
the
why I left it
electrical.
on here so that you guys say, yeah, we're going with EK Bailey. We've got the number, we got it in the budget, and we're just gonna button things up and I'll get back on the agenda.
Okay. Yeah, see what you can do to have everything come in about 40% under budget. We appreciate that.
Well, this is good.
Yeah.
I'm happy about this, so.
No, that's awesome.
And we did some change orders, just to throw at the end, we did a few change orders Steve asked that I felt were going to be expensive. And that building is going to look really nice. We're putting bigger tile in for the walkway to the attorney's office and to the court area. And we're going to do some nice wood veneer, kind of like what we have in here. It's going to make it look really, really professional. And for that savings, I think it's going to be great for the county.
Awesome. Okay. Very good.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the bid for the reconstruction of the Justice Center, or the remodel, to E.K. Bailey Construction pending the electrical adjustment.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield, a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thanks, Cody.
Cody?
All right.
So, a year ago, we had a house fire out at
Oh, will you just state your name so that's on the.
Tiffany Jensen
recording?
with the Fire Marshal's Office.
Thanks.
A year ago, we had the Steinlich house fire out at the trailer park in, oh heavens, it's in Garland. And it was a total loss. It's in the unincorporated Box Elder County. And we have oh heavens, it is the municipal service fee. And how that works is we bill the people the entire cost of the fire until we receive the payment from the insurance. And then we accept that, and then we write off the remainder of the balance. It took them a while to get the payment for the $500 payment from the insurance. So what I'm asking is we write off the remainder of the bill for them. So,
Okay. No, there was good documentation in there, thank you.
so that is, so I'm just asking if we can go ahead and write off the remainder of the balance. And they've paid a pretty good portion of it, more than most people usually do.
Okay.
Okay, no, I didn't have any questions. There was great documentation that was in the other packet here, so.
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve the Garland
It's
house
this-
fire balance write-off.
Elmer Steinlich is the name.
Elmer Steinlich, yeah, okay.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield and a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thanks, Tiffany.
I will let them
Yeah,
know.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, no more fires.
Yeah.
Please. Yes. House or hay?
Jim?
Lieutenant? Understand you've got some beer money that we need to work on.
I spoke with Lieutenant Summer from the Sheriff's Office. I spoke with the chief yesterday. He's waiting for some correspondence from the state, so until he gets that, he can't move forward with anything, so.
Okay. He called me yesterday as well. The problem that we have is, from what I understand, there's an October 1st deadline.
Yeah.
And there was a possible discrepancy. It sounds like there's some carryover money, but we didn't think that there was, so that's a good problem.
Right.
And so I checked with them, and if it's okay with our attorney's office, these contracts don't change much. So if we could pass it pending the formal numbers coming back from the state, all we're waiting on is to see there was potentially 41,000 that was carried over.
And that should be fine. We haven't seen the original contract yet.
Yeah.
And so if you want to pass it pending both
Okay.
of those things, that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, they don't change much from year to year. Typically, it's just the amount of money that comes in, and then if we have a carryover, we just need to have that
You can just
budgeted.
take a quick look and do a comparison. and-
That would be my preference, because then it's like I told Chief Deputy Palmer, once he gets those numbers back next week, because he's out of town, I can just catch up with him once those numbers are there, and if it looks good, we'll sign it and get it back into the state before our deadline.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right.
Guess I'd entertain a motion for the beer grant.
Okay. Make a motion, we approve the beer grant billing for Box Elder County to be reimbursed.
Pending the final numbers from the state.
Pending the final numbers from the state, yeah.
Friendly.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield and a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So
Thanks, Jim.
you're in charge of things for a day or two. Sorry.
Put him on the spot there.
Be secret.
I'm not going to use the Q word.
I'm glad, thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah,
Quiet.
I can still find them if I need to.
All right. You and your 53-page contract.
Yep.
Wyatt Freeze, Boxer County Weed Supervisor. I'm just bringing a contract renewal for signature from the BLM. This is a reimbursement to the county for work done on BLM managed public lands. Most of this takes place out in Grouse Creek area and coincides with our yearly spraying that we do for knapweed and other secondary weeds. This also gives us a good opportunity to monitor areas out there that rarely get seen by anybody else, watching out for early detection, rapid response weeds. So this also helps out a lot of Box Elder County residents that graze livestock on these BLM allotments by removing the noxious weeds that otherwise would decrease the available forage. So it's for the amount of $7,500 annually, I think for 4 years up to 2027.
So roughly $15 a page of the contract.
Yeah.
Annie, I appreciate you reading that. Holy cow. All right. Any questions? They need to have a table at the end that explains all the acronyms. Oh my gosh. All right.
I'll make a motion, we approve contract 22 32 with the BLM to be reimbursed to the county for treatment on their property.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield and a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thanks, Wyatt.
Awesome.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it. How's everybody doing? Good. Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work.
All right, let's see. And you've got PAs? Okay.
And then we've got a couple of closed session items for the sale of land and possible future litigation.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you're the boss, Steve.
You could get used to that, Steve. You could get used to that.
I'll look for the back row.
Jeff and I will come in January and make faces at you in the back row.
You know what? That almost sounded like a dare. Tammy, when's our first commission meeting in January? Uh-huh. I think it's the 3rd. Is it the 3rd? No, let's see, 2nd. I think it's 4th. Okay, I'll put it on the calendar.
There you go. Put it on your calendar. Ooh. He's really tempting you.
Have you ever had anybody deliver pizza during a commission meeting?
We just talked about that at our last council meeting. Me and the person I was sitting next to, I'm like, should we just get a pizza delivered while they fight it out?
That'd be fun. 1 South Main, Commission Chambers, back row.
That's you?
Are you serious?
You have an address on that, huh?
That's next level. I think you just beat us. All right. Guess I'd entertain a couple more motions, or at least one more right now.
Make a motion that we move into a closed session to discuss litigation and property.
A motion by Commissioner Hadfield, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thanks, Jim.
Take care. Don't call me, I'll call you. Okay. At least for the next 3 days.
Well, we're heading south as soon as this meeting's over, so.
Oh, you guys are abandoning ship too?
Yeah. So, this line of succession thing? You're getting close to the top of the list.
Why is that?
Well,
Sheriff's on. Summers is stuck out.
What's wrong with this picture?
As long as Steve's still in town, you're off the hook.
We need to know too.
Oh, yeah.
It's, all prosecuting conversation.
There you go.
The hits just keep